God's sake, who has better chops than I, which is probably most guys, just do that cleanly, because I cannot make my left hand go really at a softer dynamic. Dude, look at this. Look at this. I'm as cool as a cube. You know what I mean? I just need like a fistful of beta blockers or something. But anyway, it does mess with my technique. Anyway, but so that's what he does. So remember, 16. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and no accents. Here's the accent pattern. So that's probably a good way. So. All the time is when he goes around the kid. When I showed that was 16ths, which is fucked up. It does slip to the triplet. So just remember, I know I've only said this 900 times because I'm obsessive compulsive. 16ths for the most part of that cool part with the hi-hat chinking. But then when he goes around the toms, it slips into that. And then when he comes out, when he stops doing that, he always accents. As soon as he does that, then he slips back into the 16th. But again, it sounds like a triplet because he's dotting the 16ths. So oh God, I wish I could fucking write it down. So the accent's the 1, the E, then the N of the 2, and then the E of the 3, and then what would that be? The 4 itself. You know what I mean? But then remember it goes. So just those three. But then instead of doing da da, it goes da 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 da. Save us. Anyway, but you know what I'm saying. So that's it. That's the Moby, man. You know, guys will be. Of course, I got ching rings all over the joint. Let's see if I got one. Let's see here if I have a proper ching ring. Here we go. Of course, this is my reasonable facsimile thereof. I don't know if it fits on here. This is the fake one. I got the real one over there, but it's fucked up. So. Drum in there. So fiddle diddle. Standard. But remember, that goes to practice though in the 16ths, which are not which are just well. You don't have to do all that whole roll, but just so always like at the end of it. What I'm saying? That's the whole schmoby. By the way, this is a cut down 18-inch crash top 602. It sounds great. Anyway, I should make these videos after I practice a little. But anyway, that's what it is. That's the Moby. You know what I'll do too? I got to keep these things set up and I'll practice and I'll try to actually put together maybe the whole like 10-minute part, just so it sounds a little better. Just doesn't sound like I'm making this up. Like it's kind. But really, that is honestly what Bonham's doing. Watch his hands. You got one of those things on the song. I mean, same. Hit the button that looks at half speed. You see Bonham going. And then, of course, then it sounds really funky. You shift to those little... You know what I mean? It sounds cool. God love him. He's the fucking man. But also, too, the way those drums were tuned, like that's why sometimes I have a problem sometimes figuring out certain parts of Days Confused, because sometimes in those recordings, his toms, especially his floor tom, sounds like a bass drum, kind of. Like, it's kind of hard to tell it apart. Some of those bootlegs, you can really hear the difference. You know, if you hear some of the Moby Dicks and stuff with sort of a shittier mix where the toms really just kind of sound like this, I mean, you can really actually hear their toms. It doesn't sound nearly as cool. I mean, nothing against the Bonzolian, but you know what I'm saying? So in any case, I think that's it. Achilles Last Stand. One, E, and a 2. Like 4, E, and a